And please subscribe, leave us a rating, and help us out, a review, and it'll help us out tremendously. Also, please go to Spotify and look up Jersey Boys Sports Talk. You can find our podcast there. Also, subscribe to our show live on YouTube. Smash the like button, hit the notifications, follow. We also got links to other previous shows, as well as all our shows on the Sportscast. All righty. Today we have a special guest coming on. I'll let you know in a few minutes. But Mr. Byron Jones, how you feeling today? I'm ready to go compared to last week.
Oh, I bet. I'm glad you feel a lot better. I got a little energy today. Yeah, I was up in Perth Amboy, favorite place, all day today.
Woo! We're boys from
Yeah,
Amboy.
yeah. It looked like they started practice down there too, because I was watching them from the field from the cemetery at the top.
July. Good.
Well, so like 7-on-7 stuff. So they were out there because I saw Patrick today. Rich, you remember Patrick? I saw
Yeah,
him.
I coached them.
Yes, I saw him today, and yeah, it was a pretty good day today.
Patrick is a coach,
yeah, Perth Amboy. He's been there for a long time now.
but he's an assistant coach or he's a head coach?
Assistant William Clark is the head coach.
William Clark is head coach. Okay. Yeah, no,
He's
Patrick was a
with Brad.
phenomenal player.
Oh yeah. He's a great player for his size, man. He pound for pound, man. He's very good.
Yeah, I coached him. And yeah, he still calls me coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he calls me coach down cross. Most of the players I coached from Perth Amboy still call me coach. It's kind of
That's a
it's
sign
like
of
a badge.
respect.
It's a badge of honor. I still call my coaches coach.
Yeah, I do too. And I'm 900 years old.
Yeah, close to that. A little, maybe 899. Yeah, man, let me tell you something. Remember I told you I wasn't feeling well last week? Dude,
Right.
I was hurting all the way through Monday.
Huh.
Like
I wonder
bad.
what could that possibly be?
I think I could have got either COVID or just a back. I had a headache, but I mean, I still got a slight cough, like that lingering cough. But other than that, I'm not tired. Like I was tired most of the week. I was trying to get through work, and we get tired real quick. But anyhow, we got a lot.
If you retire, you ain't got to worry about all that stuff.
That is true. Well, I'm doing a Byron tomorrow. My wife and I were taking a trip to Jacksonville to see my sister and my brother-in-law. So looking forward to that, trying to detach for a little bit. But it's not that easy for me. All right, let's get going. Let's welcome to the show Mr. Joey Toscano from the Donut Bag. Joey, welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk.
Hello.
Awesome. I got a little surprise for you driving on the Florida highway. Coming back, I saw something, I couldn't believe it, and I took this just for you, my friend. Hold on a second. Let me show you. Let's see if I can find it now. Here we go. Oh, Joey, this is all you, baby.
Ooh.
That's on Florida. In Florida. And on the side,
amazing.
I didn't get a chance to take a picture of the side for you. Joey, I did this for you. I'm driving, taking a picture. Right?
You're risking your life for a good picture.
On a Florida highway, heck yeah. So I got the picture. And then on the side of the truck, I didn't get a chance because taking a side pic is a lot harder than take a pic from the back. But the side of the truck said terrible truck. Instead of terrible towel, terrible truck. So
what I love about that? It's up to date. They did that this year. Got Wilson, no Pickett. That's perfect.
I'm assuming just the back windows up today. I think the truck is all year round.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's full. The back of the truck, it's all Steeler. The side of the truck is Steeler. The front of the truck is Steelers. Is everything. So I had to take that for you, and I'm glad you came on the show because I had it ready for you.
That is so cool.
In Florida, South Florida.
Yeah, in Florida of all places.
In South Florida, that truck, man, that stood out like a thumb. Man, I had to catch him. I drove up behind him. I was like, I gotta take this picture. So I thought we'll talk about the Steelers coming up next a little bit. All right, Mr. Byron Jones, I'm hearing some pretty good things about Malik Neighbors and Daniel Jones, but they're saying that's about it. So it's like that's the spotlight of the thing. And rumors of Belichick in the shadows possibly coming to Giants sometime in the near future.
No, that ain't happening. It's been very interesting. They had they're doing the camp now. They have one pass to where Daniel sort of sailed it over, the guy's head. Oh, he's a bum, and they're already screaming for him to get fired or cut or whatever. It's practice, man. It's practice. That's why it's called practice. Yeah, Evan Neal, might as well bring him up already. Oh, he's already hurt. He can't. He reported the first day hurt. The other rookie tight end, Theo Johnson, he's out already. He was out before they even got to camp. Uh, the tackle that they signed for Raiders, he got hurt yesterday, but he came back, with sore ribs. But the Evan Neal saga, that's going to be the biggest thing going on, man. They need to go ahead and pull the plug on this guy, and either move him to guard or something, because I've been saying for 2 years that he's too big, and not too big, but just too slow to play right tackle in the NFL. He was a great left guard at Alabama. All of a sudden, there's no way that all of a sudden this guy gets to the Giants and he sucks. Complete. I mean, just awful, like awful. And it is, it is what it is. But the offensive line is going to be an issue again. Malik Neighbors is doing his thing. During camp now. Hyde is Wandell Robinson. They got the receivers. Just got to be able to get the ball to them, man. They really haven't heard too much about the defense yet, but most of it, they've been talking about is the offense. And then with the whole Hard Knocks thing, the coming to light, this is the question I have for today. This is my question. Does Shane really run the team, or Mara run the team? Mara, because Mara was upset. He wanted to sign Saquon. He really did. You could tell that he did, because because basically their best player, left the building, and Shane's answer was kind of, well, and it's like he didn't know that, Chicago was putting in a little bit of money for him, and that the Eagles really want. And it was only $1 million difference. And push comes to shove, looks like Saquon took the money and went to a better team, to win, right now, instead of the rebuilding mess that we still have in New York.
Interesting. So hold on a second. So it's Joe Schoen, right?
Schoen.
Yes. So the question is, I got someone that.
I just want to know who's running the team. It seems like he's giving him enough rope, to whatever himself, but it just doesn't. And I always bring this up. The Detroit Lions were in the same boat 3-4 years ago. The same boat.
Yeah.
And look what they've done. They drafted well. They surrounded the guy with talent. And they're just ready to take off. And now us, we're in the same boat as far as they're rebuilding again. They don't know if Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback. They don't know what the offense, and it's a mess. And who to blame? Do you blame the general manager, or do you blame the head coach? Whose fault is it?
I like.
Above.
Yeah, what do you say, Joey?
All of the above. I've been watching that Hard Knocks. It is fascinating. I love that behind the scenes stuff. And I've been watching these ones with the Giants, and yeah, Mara has his input, but what does that mean? Is it, there's that phrase, too many cooks? Are there too many people running the show? Is there not one unified voice, or is there not one person running the team? I don't know. I see Mara say some things. I know he has his input or what his preferences, and he's the guy that writes the paycheck, so maybe they should listen to him. But still, I mean, I think every NFL team has the issue where the owner gets involved or whatever. But I don't know. It's tough, but it seems like it's a little bit confusing with the Giants.
It's the old
just weird.
It's the old saying. Sometimes you count the votes, sometimes you weigh the votes. And Mara's vote outweighs any count. So word that I've been reading and researching is saying Mara, that Sean and Dable are now, especially Sean, they are paranoid. Like, they cannot have Philly come and stomp all over the Giants and Saquon have big games. Like they're done. If that happens, they're done. Mara wanted to keep Saquon. You know, when these coaches draft, I mean, when I'm finding out when these owners are part of the draft and they draft a young guy and he turns out to be a star, they kind of feel like there's a little bit more kindred spirit within them. You know what I mean? They say same thing with Jerry Jones. When Jerry Jones drafts a guy, you know, he kind of treats them, it's like family for them. And everything's, all the indications, everything I've been looking at, Mara did not want Saquon to leave, much less to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, but he's the owner, so if he wanted him to stay that much, he should have. You know what? Go ahead and give him that $2 million, or whatever, more, and bring him back.
I guess
all he had to do was say
something. Yeah, I know. That's my point. I don't know if he maybe he did say something, or maybe he also didn't communicate it. David Potter. I don't know. This is from last time. Yeah, I don't know if he just didn't communicate it strong enough. Because look, I'm watching a little bit of Hard Knocks. I get caught up. I'm not that impressed with Sean. He doesn't seem like to me, a GM. I would expect somebody to be a little bit more forceful. He's more like kind of like one of the boys. He's like, I don't know. He doesn't seem dominating. Especially in a team that is in going backwards. For me, I'd be a bull in the china shop. He seems just too friendly. It's just too like, I don't know. I don't know. I understand being a player's coach and this and that, but when you're the GM of a team that's been poor for a long time, there's no time to play around. I mean, you got to be a Parcells type of guy, in my opinion, right? And he doesn't seem that way. I don't say like that guy's like a CEO, right? He's the guy running the shit. He doesn't come across that way to me. Am I missing something, Joey? You're watching it now.
Yeah, I mean, that whole Saquon Barkley thing was just a really bad look for the Giants. They tried to have their cake and eat it too. If they really wanted him, just pay the guy. And yeah, it was such a small difference. And this is a worst case scenario for them. They wanted him, and they went to their biggest rival. That was a really bad look. And yeah, the Giants need all the good people they can get, and they just lost one of their best players. Just really bad. So I mean,
and it wasn't like it wasn't like he left for this big bag of money, right? To Philadelphia, they could have afforded to match what Philadelphia paid him. There's no problem with that. It's not like they just outbid him. You know what I mean? It was just, I think it was bad. So anyhow, that's this word on the street. I think Sean is running it. I don't think Mara's putting his foot down hard enough. But I personally think they're gone this year. Both of them. I don't think they're going to keep either one.
And Dable.
Yeah, Dable and Sean.
Because then they're gonna look like a clown circus, because it's gonna be another one gone after 3 years. If anything, they're gonna make Shane fire Dable. Even though they are a match pair. They're tied at the hip. Because this is supposed to be his guy. He's supposed to be the offensive guru and all this other stuff, and it just ain't look like that. So let's see. So do you fall on the sword for your guy, or you're going to end up firing him, and then you're going to have to go through this whole thing and get another coach?
I think if Philadelphia comes in and stomps on, if Philadelphia comes in and Saquon plays well, Sean is gone. I think he's gone. I don't think Mara can withstand that.
He's going to be super motivated.
It's going to be a smack in his face. He's going to be like, I'm the owner of this team. I'm a billionaire. I wanted to keep this kid, and you let this guy come into our house, us going to them, and he embarrassed us. And the Eagles are going to play hard for Saquon when they're going against the Giants. First of all, they play hard against the Giants all the time. It's going to be way more motivation right now.
Because if he comes to that stadium, MetLife, and he runs for not even 150 yards, something just crazy against that. It's toward the end of the season, and the Giants suck. Whatever's going on, they like you said, they both might get fired just because of that.
I think that's
the reason right there.
I think that's going to be the piece. They better be prepared not to be embarrassed by the Eagles and Saquon. I am telling you right now.
At MetLife.
at MetLife, at Philadelphia, I don't think it matters. I don't think Mara I think is hurt with
No,
Saquon leaving.
it's going to be a lot worse. The Giant Stadium, if he comes there and goes off, and then them 70,000 people lose their mind, like back in the day, oh, Giants suck, and burning stuff and tearing up stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to be mad, and they're gonna let them know right there on national TV what's going on with them.
All right, well, let's move off of the depressing Giants for now until the season starts. I want to go start taking this show full rounded. All right, next up here is CeeDee Lamb not at camp. We said stuff was. Think about our first conversation of actually having something about the Dallas so far is now about CeeDee Lamb not being at camp. What are your thoughts on that, Byron? And it's not looking good.
Whoever the top paid wide receiver was, it 32 million or whatever the number is now. I don't think, and we've talked about this before, I don't think he's getting that kind of money from Dallas, especially when like some of the things I've seen with Dak. They're talking about him 60 or over $1 million a year, 60 or over. Then you still got to worry about last week, Trayvon Diggs, the corner. Then you got to worry about Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons in that same level with Bosa. Bosa's at $30-something million a year. So yeah, it's not looking good, man. I'm thinking, and we've said this before, that it's just weird that you're not talking about the Cowboys at all, except for this little stuff, not little, but big stuff here, and that's it. You haven't heard anything. They haven't spent any money, and I'm going to throw it out there again. I think he's just putting all his little ducks in a row, not paying anybody, so he can sell the team. The team's worth $9 billion. He's going to sell the team. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
He ain't paying nobody. He's going to pay the team.
I can't imagine him selling. I can't imagine him selling that team. After everything that's got, I don't know. You may be right, but I'm just telling you right now, CeeDee Lamb and not at camp. We talked about it. That's a big problem for him. He's a player. I mean, that guy deserves to get paid. He's definitely one of the top players. He's tall. He's big. He makes me nervous every time he's down.
He can take the house every time.
Every single time. He's a big player. Joey, what are your thoughts on CeeDee Lamb?
I don't know what the heck the Cowboys are doing. They are really, really, really dumb. They have to pay, like you mentioned, they have to pay CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott. And the more they wait, the more all they had to do was make these deals a year or two ago or before. The more they wait, the bigger these contracts will get. They can't, at this point, they can't keep either Dak, CeeDee Lamb, or Micah, or one of them is going to have to go because they can't afford all of them. By the way, Jerry Jones is 81 years old, same age as a certain president that just announced that he can't, he's not going to run for re-election. So maybe Jerry Jones is going to sell it, or at least, I don't know, step out of the spotlight.
Sell it.
But I don't know what I don't know what they're thinking. It's just really dumb. Pick a guy. Obviously, your number one priority is Micah Parsons. You got to pay him. He's almost one of the best defensive players in the league. But CeeDee Lamb is almost he's maybe number 2 or 3 wide receiver, and he's going to want that Justin Jefferson money, which was what 33 million a year. So this is just. It's just insane. The Cowboys, they should have just made a decision and said, okay, we're keeping Micah and CeeDee Lamb and Dak. Thank you very much, but it's time to go. And just got those guys. Now they might lose one, they might lose 2 of those guys. Who knows? It's just insane.
Yeah, because you figure Dak has a no franchise clause, no trade. So that pretty much he could just like, you know what, I ain't negotiate with you guys and go the whole season and say, toodles, see you around. And they get nothing. No draft picks, nothing. Because he just walked away.
Yeah, Dak's in the driver's seat right now. And so let's see the year that he has, but it's still he would still be a good quarterback for some team. I mean, he does.
Let me ask you this question: is he a $60 million a year quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah, with the it's the market though, Byron. It's not that whether he is or not. Because I'll tell you the next. You'll see the next question coming up. Because I'm doing all the topics that's going around the news. That's what the market's being paid right now. I mean,
Exactly. He
look at
doesn't
Trevor
deserve
Lawrence.
it, but he's going to get it.
It's what the market is. Like, look at these receivers. The receivers are getting market. You know what I
No,
mean? Yeah.
The question is he a $60 million a year quarterback?
He doesn't deserve it, but he's going to get it.
Okay, I feel better.
I would say no, but he's going to get it. But who are they going to have to replace him? So here I want to go to my next question. All right, let's go. Okay, boom. Who has been more disappointing in the playoffs? If you had to pick one, Lamar or Dak?
Lamar.
At least Lamar won a game.
Okay, but no, who's more disappointing? Like from your expectations, from your thing, who's more disappointing come playoff time? Lamar or Dak? Byron, you said Lamar. Why?
Let's see. He's won 2 MVPs. Yeah, he's still a young guy. 25, 26 years old. I think he's like 2-4. Yeah, like 2-4 in the playoffs. For somebody that's a 2-time MVP guy, and they should have been there already. And for some reason, I don't know, like with the scheme, whatever they ran that day, instead of them trying to run the ball, instead of having him drop back, 40 or 50 times or whatever he did that game, and he's just not that kind of guy. They should have let Lamar be Lamar, in the playoff, and it probably would have turned down. But yeah, I would say for a 2-time, MVP guy that hasn't been in a Super Bowl yet, he might be at the top of the list. Most disappointing
out of those two. Joey?
Yeah, maybe Lamar is more disappointing for just the reasons that Byron said. When you're an MVP, you're supposed to be the best quarterback in the league. And that game against the Chiefs last year, that was Lamar was almost the main reason why they lost. I don't know why he went away from everything he was used to playing, but it's like he fell right into the Chiefs' hands and just did lousy that game. Yeah, I can make the argument for Lamar. Actually, the Cowboys have won a couple playoff games. They won one on 2022 and in 2018. I don't know if
hold on. Let me correct you. I don't want to be misleading to our fans. Okay, I got to answer some questions here. When you say a couple playoff games, so we're clear, not in the same year.
Correct.
Crystal clear. Okay.
In the last 6 years, they have won 2 playoff games.
All right. Period of several years, they've won a couple playoff games.
Yeah.
But they have never won a couple playoff games consecutively. So we're
not since the 90s.
Correct, Byron?
Yeah, since the 90s.
Right. Hot take. If things go right, Debo will have Justin Fields in New York. Oh, interesting. Going to turn him into Josh Allen. All right. Anthony Price. On Hard Knocks, Giants owner was mad. Barkley. Yep, I agree. I'm telling you, though. Anthony Price, thanks for your comment. David Podman, thanks for – hey, Russell is always probably getting out of bed. I don't know. Let's talk about Russell Wilson. Don't forget about Jake Ferguson, and his contract is up next year. Jake Ferguson?
Tight end.
Yep. And Hard Knocks, Johnny up. Josh Allen. But yeah, no, I agree. I'm telling you, everything said Mara, they did not want him to go. I couldn't believe on Hard Knocks how blatantly they were just talking about, oh my God, that's truly when you see the business side of it, just the product. Do we get rid of him? Do we not get rid of him? The poor guy's still feeling he's a true blue. But anyway, back to Dak and Lamar. I would agree. I would say Lamar. Do you know Lamar is the only 2-time MVP player not to win a Super Bowl? Everyone who's been a 2-time MVP, at least minimum 2 times, has won at least 1 Super Bowl.
Interesting.
And that's 1. 2, the reason why Lamar is disappointing, I mean, think about, I think, was it last year that in the beginning of the season, I mean, he was putting up like John Madden numbers. I mean, they were through the roof. He had the receivers. He had everything you possibly could. A running game. He was playing well. He was throwing the ball well. He did everything, and then he just bombed against Kansas City. Now you
Yeah,
got to
but
give Spags credit, but the reason why, hold on, Byron. The reason why I feel he's disappointing because you expect more from a two-time MVP. You expect more from him when he comes to the playoffs. Because I got a question right after that. Go ahead, Byron.
yeah, but it didn't help that the offensive coordinator for the Ravens that day decided, hey, let's have him drop back and throw the ball when that's not his strong point. Throwing the ball like that. Let him be Lamar. If he'd have been Lamar in that playoff game, they probably would have beat the Chiefs. All of a sudden, I forgot what the guy's name. He came from Georgia. All of a sudden, he want to be this genius. Hey, let's drop back and throw the ball. Come on, man. Really? That's not this
They
guy's strength, man.
outsmarted themselves.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, the question is, I think the panel all agrees that Lamar is more disappointing. And then the question is, come pick or shove. I think the funny part. He's been more disappointing. But if you had to pick, you're in the playoff game, right? And it's coming down to the wire. Who do you want behind the ball, Dak or Lamar?
Lamar.
Byron.
Lamar. Somehow, some way, Dak's gonna screw it up. Somehow, something's gonna happen.
I say I'm with you. For me, when I see Lamar go to the line in the playoffs, I don't have, oh man, something's going to go wrong. They're going to do something wrong. When Dak is in the playoffs, it's like, what is he going to do? Something's going to go wrong. They're going to call a bad play. They're going to run. They're not run the. Something is not. He is phenomenal. Dallas Cowboys are great until December. They're the best up until December team, and then they just bomb in January. So the funny part is we're more disappointed because of the expectations of Lamar when it comes to the playoffs. But if we had to choose who we want, Dak or Lamar, we're all picking Lamar. I don't think.
I think that got into the Cowboys' head that they do so well in the regular season, and then when it comes to the playoffs, they just fall flat in their face. I think that really got to their head, and they're that's all they're thinking about.
Yeah, I think. I mean, look, they got to get past one win. It's been 18, 20 years that they've won. They either won and done every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'll see what happens. All right, next. Woo, Brandon Ayuk. That's big. A lot of things are heating up. He reported to practice today. Yesterday he was in that practice. Reported to practice today. Remember, Lynch said we're going to do everything. Brandon Ayuk is going to be there. But there were some good stories of where he possibly would go. I think that's a key player for the San Francisco 49ers. Joey?
This is all the Steelers fans have been talking about for the last 6 months now, 5 months, is let's get Brandon Ayuk. When are we getting Brandon Ayuk? Brandon Ayuk.
That was a place he could go.
He's not going anywhere, people. Listen, here's why. The 49ers, this is their year. We're just talking about the Cowboys. They have to pay Dak and Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. Well, the 49ers have to pay Brock Purdy. And, well, they're probably going to let Brandon Ayuk go after this year, but this is their only chance to have a great team with a quote unquote great quarterback. This is their year. It's Super Bowl or bust for them. So they're not going to get rid of one of their best wide receivers in a year that they're trying to win a championship. It doesn't make sense. They're going to keep him this year and then say, and they already drafted a wide receiver in the first round this year. So they're already prepared for him to go. So they're going to keep him this year and say, okay, good luck. See you. They got to Saquon Barkley out of there.
They got to sign him.
They could sign him, yeah, but they're running out of money. They have too many good people, and Brock Purdy is going to be a $60 million guy.
Yeah, that's my next question. Hold on, go ahead, Byron. Brandon Ayuk.
Let's see. Pittsburgh probably, he said it probably would be a great place for him. But what are you going to here? My question is, what are you willing to give up to get this guy? He's a first round. There's a first round pick. You got to give up a first. or something even close. They're not just going to give him away. They're going to want he's one of the top receivers in the NFL. It could be a 1 this year, and we're coming up next year, and a 2 or whatever. But what is a team willing to give up? And the only teams that are willing to get a guy like that are the ones that are close. To
Washington,
New England Patriots. It could be one of the teams.
Remember, he'll team up with Jaden Daniels. That was word on the street. They've already played together, right? Yeah. They're saying good things about. They think Daniels is going to outplay Caleb Williams.
But
right?
What are you going to give up? That's the key.
I get it. I'm just saying things that what they're saying is Pittsburgh was a destination they thought would be a good fit. I thought it would be too because I think Pittsburgh is doing a pretty good job. I think they're going to be dangerous. 1, 2. I like him going to Jaden Daniels. Doing a connection like Jamar Chase, right? And Burrows, right? But the question is this: why are you going to go to the team that your best shot of getting to a Super Bowl is with the 49ers? I mean, the 49ers, like Joey said, this is their year to make it and win the Super Bowl because next year, it's all going to break loose because they're going to have to. Now, may God bless Purdy because he's got to get through this year. He's got to play well. He's got to stay. This has got to be the most pressure possible, right? I mean, you got to stay healthy and you better play well because you're going to go from this is going to be a movie made about this guy. You know that, right? You're going to go from Mr. Irrelevant to $60 million. They're going to have to pay him, Byron. I mean,
he'll be able to afford to live in San Francisco.
Yeah, maybe if he makes $60 million a year, maybe he could afford it.
I don't want to hear that crap. He can live where he wants to go and get an Uber driver. But they're gonna have to pay him. So why would he go? Why would Brandon Ayuk go anywhere? They got a really good team. They got a shot. They got a great coach. They got all the pieces. They just need to stay healthy. And I think they got another shot. They should make it back to the Super Bowl. All right, so Brandon Ayuk, but I like thinking that possibly go to the Steelers. I'm liking because remember, to me, the Steelers got the deal of the century, getting those 2 quarterbacks for the money they paid. Right?
That's right.
It teed them up for the possibility to be awesome with money to get receivers to get the thing to place. All righty, next, boom. Let's go back to New York for our Jet fans. All righty. What would a successful season? I put Fro. Sorry, that's my typing. What would a successful season for the New York Jets look like?
Playoffs.
Okay, but you gotta get a little more specific than that. Playoffs, first round.
Okay, they have to win at least one playoff game.
Okay,
and that's not a hope. That's an expectation. When you have Aaron Rodgers and all the hype that came with him, that's the floor right now is win a playoff game.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to come anywhere close to that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is any good or he's going to stay healthy. I don't think any of that is going to happen, but that's what the expectations are.
All right. So for you is to make it to the playoffs or win one playoff game?
Win one playoff game. Okay.
Byron?
I'm going to go off the deep end for our Jet fan. Super Bowl or bust. The window is small. That window is small. He has this year and next year. And that's it. He's 40-year-old quarterback. They're piecing it together, for him to make a run this year. They have to make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl this year with Aaron Rodgers.
So if you said he has 2 years, why are you putting the emphasis on this year? Why? And I'm going to tell you my piece now. Why wouldn't it be make the playoffs, win a playoff game, and then win the Super Bowl the following year?
No, they have to do it all.
He's already old.
Yeah, and you don't know. This guy is special. You don't know if he wins the Super Bowl or gets deep. But you know what? I'm gonna go walk away. I'm gonna go move to Egypt. I'm gonna go move to Australia. I'm gonna go move to whatever.
No, he's saying he wants a 2-year run.
Yeah. This year, next year, 2.
Right. But I mean, if he wins the Super Bowl this year, there ain't no way he's coming back. I'm telling you, right? I'd walk
Well, if
out
he
right
would,
now.
yeah, I wouldn't either. I'd ride off in the sunset.
And they'd be happy with that. They'd be happy if they win a Super Bowl. They'd be happy. It's like congratulations, go.
Joey,
Everybody would be happy if you left.
Joey, come on, Joey. They'd be happy if they made the playoffs and win a playoff game. Forget the Super
Oh,
Bowl.
well, hey, we can't say that.
And it's not gonna happen.
Come on,
They're
man.
not gonna win. They're not gonna be. Look, I don't know. I mean, listen. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy and they've run, I think they got a shot. Okay, but you're gonna see my next thing with the Chiefs. You still got to get through the Chiefs, and the Chiefs seem to be reloaded again. You know what I'm seeing in the film, what I'm seeing in the practice. So, all right, so let's give it to that. A successful for our Jet fans out there. You make any comments? All right, what is a successful season for the Jets? Is it winning the Super Bowl? Is it making the playoffs? Is it making the playoffs and winning one game? That is the question. Please leave comments in the bottom. We'll get back to you, and we'll go from there. Any other comments coming in? All righty. Okay. So that's what we have. And does Aaron Rodgers have to play at an MVP level for them to do that?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No, he does not.
Okay. Joey says no. Why, Joe?
They have an elite defense. The Jets defense is so good that they almost were competitive with Zach Wilson as quarterback. All they need is for Aaron Rodgers to just be average. They just have an average offense with an elite defense. You're gonna go far. You're gonna win a lot of games, and you could possibly go far in the playoffs. So he doesn't have to be great. He just has to be average or a little bit above average, and they'll be just fine.
Okay. Byron, why does he have to be MVP?
Because it's New York. It's the New York. That's what the people in New York are going to scream for. That's what the media people are going to scream for. Oh, you're going to hear, they get off 4-0, 5-0. Aaron Rodgers, he's playing the MVP. You're going to hear it all. If he comes out, lighting it up, as far with the weapons that he has, and the offense and the offensive line protective, it's just going to be driven that way that he's the MVP.
Well,
and Byron, what if he struggles?
Well, wait a second. Forget about struggling. There's two different things. Let's say MVP level is a different world, right? But let's say he's just putting up 24, 23, sometimes 27 points, and they're winning 27-24. They're winning 23-20, right? That's not MVP level, but they're 12-4 going into the final game. Right? That's not MVP level, but they're 12-4. You think the Jets fans are going to be upset?
If he's the one driving the train, yes, because of the media in New York is going to drive it. Oh well, last year, he got hurt last year. He came back and look what he did. He made the line look good. He made the receivers look good. It's going to be all Aaron Rodgers.
If he leads them to 12 wins, he will be MVP just because it's in New York. However well he does, it's going to be. I mean, look at the Giants a few years ago. The Giants had one good year, and they made Dable Coach of the Year.
Yeah. Oh man,
that's a good point. All right, that's funny. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go. I keep going back and forth. The comments. Boom, blah, blah, blah. All right.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, Dable won. What did he do? One playoff game. That's how he got. He won one. That's all you can do is win one in New York, man. Win one, man. You're top of the world.
He matched Dallas. He matched Dallas. That's all Dallas does. All righty. Here's the good question here. Have the Chiefs gotten better? Byron?
Yes, the defense has gotten a lot better. Chris Jones is still there. That's the guy that stirs it all up for them. The secondary. Even though they got rid of Snead, they just seem. We talked about last week that where they drafted 9 corners, defensive backs over the last couple of years. That's a lot, for one spot. And people are forgetting that they're going to be a little bit faster. Than they were last year because they have Xavier Worthy, the kid from Texas that set the record in the 40-yard dash. You have Hollywood Brown on the other side. Kadarius Toney, might as well say, Hasten.
I won't even mention. I didn't even put him on the list.
It brings a bad taste in my
I
name.
didn't,
My
I didn't
mouth
even put him
saying
on
it.
the list. I don't even mention him.
But
Don't mention him on the show.
But I'm just saying, man, the work of the kid, running back a little bit, just picture him getting a screen pass.
They got Rasheed. What's his name? Rasheed also.
Rasheed Rice, but he's in
Rasheed
trouble.
Rice.
And they forgot all about him. And they got our other Jersey kid, Pacheco, the running back from.
They got Pacheco. There's that. I think they're better. I think they are better. Not only, I think their defense was already good. So if they got even better on defense, it's even more because it's scary. That's an example of that's my point. They won the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes didn't have an MVP season. Right? They were playing offensively. They were playing bad, dropping balls. He was turning the ball over. Now this kid Worthy, man. Did you see some of the throws that Patrick was hitting him in practice? He was just throwing bombs, and this kid was still flying past players. Then you had Hollywood Brown scoring. Then you got Kelsey. Then you got Rasheed Rice, and then you got Pacheco. I mean, they're scary, man. And it looks like what they're saying is like this is the first time they've seen a Super Bowl team come back with a chip on their shoulders after winning back-to-back Super Bowls. Like they seem like they're upset. They're upset. They want to really dominate, and because they didn't really play well offensively last year.
The only problem they're gonna have, and I'm looking at it now, is like the offensive line is pretty much the same that they had last year. The only change is at the left tackle. They have a new guy, at left tackle, and they have a rookie, that's backing them up right now. So, what's the most important part of the line? The left tackle. So they got to make sure they hold up, on that side. But for the most part, the line is the same. But it's just one new guy at left tackle. So we're going to see how that's going to play out too.
Right. Well, I think I don't know if you've seen some of the clips about them in practice. They look pretty dangerous. You know what I mean? And then when you have Patrick Mahomes at the back, I mean, that guy he's definitely a bona fide superstar. You know what I mean?
The rest of the NFL screwed up. We let the Chiefs win at their lowest points with I mean, Patrick Mahomes last year was throwing to garbage men and sanitation workers and anybody off the streets, and he still won a Super Bowl. Imagine him with good wide receivers. Yeah, Xavier Worthy, that's going to be the next Tyreek Hill. Marquise Brown is very good. This is going to be scary.
Yeah.
The only thing holding them back is Travis Kelce.
Why is Travis Kelce holding him back?
Because he might be too old.
Nah, Kelsey's gonna play. He's got to play for his love interest, man.
Oh man, he ain't playing for her. Man.
He's got to play for the Swifties, bro. He's got $1 billion baby. You know what I'm saying? He's got a sugar mama. I think that helps Kelce, right? He doesn't have to be the main focus, right? He gets a little bit more out of him. You know what I mean? He's not as I don't think he's as tough as Kittle. Kittle does a lot of blocking, a lot of stuff. But Kelce, I think this will give him a little bit more longevity because they have more weapons to go after. You know what I mean? It's not all him. But also with this guy, with this young kid, is his name Williams, right? Remember, that caters to the Kansas City offense. They like stretching the field. Like they like playing like 3 different levels parallel for Patrick Mahomes. They need someone that's a burner, that gets deep. What does that do? It opens up the middle for Kelce. It opens up the middle for the other receivers. You know what I mean? The side. It opens up the running back routes, the wheel routes, right? They're smart. All they did was replace a speedster receiver that can stretch the back of the field. Now, you better cover them either with 2 defensive backs, which then opens up the middle of the field, or take your chance with 1 defensive back, but you better play really deep. And this is the kind of offense Andy Reid likes to run. And this also caters to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes now got used to playing, I can't just play street football, but we know he can play street football. So if you spread that field and now he can run around, his players know where to go. So I think that kid, I can't believe they got that kid also. So, they're dangerous. They're gonna be fun to watch.
And they signed Irv Smith too, Jr. from Cincinnati, tight end. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're pretty stacked at tight end too.
They're stacked. They're stacked. It's interesting scene. All right. Mr. Joey, we're gonna go to you. A lot of talk, man. I don't know. Maybe you and I have been talking a lot of stuff during preseason, and I thought we had this down. Now you're in Pittsburgh, so you're gonna know more boots on the ground than we are. But you know the commentators, they want to create stories out of anything, right? They got to sell. So here's the deal: will there be a QB battle in Steeltown?
No.
Thank
There
you.
is no quarterback competition. There's no battle. There's nothing. Russell Wilson is the king. Long live the king. There's the only way Russell Wilson is not Justin Fields is going to play is if Russell Wilson is hurt. He actually technically is hurt right now. He hurt his calf, but there is no competition. None. Zero. I don't know what the Steelers' long-term plan is after this year for
I just want to talk about this
quarterback.
That's where you and I defended the most in the beginning of the year, right? We defended the fact that, Tomlin's a man of his word. Russell, you came here, you took the least amount of money, even because you're getting the rest of it from over there, because he could have asked for more money, and he didn't, right? He took it. He's a good – Tomlin is a straight-up guy. He's a player's coach. 1, 2, they got the opportunity to get Justin Fields, who was probably, feeling how he was feeling playing for Chicago. We had this conversation that we felt that Tomlin had that under control, right? So that's what we're saying. It's just the reporters keep bringing up. So why are you saying that? Because that's how you feel, or is that what you're seeing on the local news?
That's how it is.
Is Tomlin coming out and saying
all
the
reporters in Pittsburgh say there is no competition. The only people that say that there is a competition are those national people that really don't know what they're talking about. But everybody in Pittsburgh knows there is no competition. The job has been handed to Russell Wilson. Now, we don't know what's going to happen if Justin Fields they're going to make some special packages for him. Who knows what's going to happen, but Russell Wilson is the guy. Now, another thing is when Russell Wilson first came in, he wanted to go to a place where he could start to rehabilitate his career and his reputation. He's not going to be a backup somewhere. He's not going to go somewhere just to be the backup. I'm sure he came in here with the assurance that he would at least be given the first chance at being the starter. Now, if Russell Wilson, struggles a lot or something like that, then we'll see what happens. But it is Russell Wilson's job to lose. There is no competition.
Didn't he have a little injury today? They said they were bringing up.
He today was the first day of practice, and he did not practice with a calf injury. It does not sound serious. I think it was more of a precautionary measure.
Okay.
Byron, what are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen?
Russell's the guy. We got the guy right there, get the boots on the ground. And that's what he said. I'm going to go with that too. Russell Wilson's going to be the guy, this year. And we'll see after this year, because they do have the kid, Justin Fields. Like you said, you probably could put, some packages in to get him on the field. I wouldn't put back there like, a kickoff return or punt or, crazy stuff like that.
Please don't to Jason Sehorn.
Yeah, we saw what happened, how that worked out. But as far as getting them on the field, the kid is talented, and he's young. He's still a young kid, and being with Tomlin is going to help his career instead of hurt.
And learning behind Russell Wilson is going to help his career.
Yep.
Yeah, and that Tomlin has to have done something with quarterbacks over the years because he hasn't had this much talent at quarterback since Ben. Right. Number one. Number two, he's demonstrated to be able to make it to the playoffs with a fourth string quarterback who actually played pretty well. So how do you get that deep as a quarterback and play pretty well if your coach wasn't preparing you during the entire season? You don't just get that lucky. You know what I mean? And so Tomlin, I think, will do the right things for Justin Fields. I think after this year, they're going to have some decisions they're going to have to make and so forth. But I think it'll be good enough to, maybe the goal is, hey, Russ, you come to us. Look, we got Justin. Justin's our future, but let's get your career back on track. And, you're going to get picked up by another team that you're going to be able to do what you do there. Right? Or they have that conversation with Justin Fields. They're just not going to be able to pay both of those quarterbacks. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good move. I'm glad to hear that because I'm tired of I'm like, man, did we get this wrong? I have so far, Tomlin has been true to everything I believe. I don't obviously personally know him, but he's been true to the persona that he's displayed on and off the field. And I continue to have that faith in Tomlin and how he's going to manage that team. And, it's he rules in Pittsburgh. So unless I hear it from Tomlin, come on, and that, hey, I'm going to have this as an open competition and this and that, for me, I'm going to go with my guns at, Russell Wilson. And I want to bring that up for you, Joey. Anything else happened in Pittsburgh that you want to bring up?
Not really. Yeah, they just started training camp. A lot of high hopes that they have a new offense. The former coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Smith, is the offensive coordinator. So they're hoping, we're just seeing how the quarterbacks do and how this new offense does, and the defense is already good. And so yeah, we have high hopes.
All right, let's go Pittsburgh.
Wait, I got a question from Pittsburgh. Here. Okay. How was it? Who actually runs the front office for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, that's the big question. That is the big question. Whoever it's basically a 3-headed committee between the general manager, Tomlin, and the owner, Art Rooney II. Obviously, I don't think the owner has that much input, but I think what the owner does is say, hey, I want to run the ball more, or hey, I really want to win a playoff game this year. He just gives general things and he lets them go. They just got a GM in the past couple of years, Omar Khan, who was an assistant for many years prior to that. But the big question is, how much input does Tomlin have in acquiring players and drafting and things? And I think he has a lot of influence, but officially it's supposed to be Omar Khan, the GM.
Yeah. Oh, they got a real GM. That's all I was bringing up.
Must be nice.
I just wanted to know. That's all. I was feeling a certain kind of way.
But I think, Pittsburgh's such a good organization that it's an inclusive kind of organ. You know what I mean? Tomlin's got a say in things. They build the things around. I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's a really good organization. I mean, for so few head coaches and to consistently be successful, you got to give them credit.
But how is it that
years, no losing season?
How is it that they could do it, and the Rooneys and Maras are related? They're related.
They made a baby. Rooney Mara. The organization's created life. How can they be so different?
Come on, man. How is this? You got the Pittsburgh, 3 coaches, for the last 60 years. The Giants have had 17, the last 60 years. Now, how is that possible if they're related like that? They're related as blood, man. It's the blood.
But I think there's more mixture in family on the Giant side than on the Mara side, on the Rooney side. Right? It's the Maras and the Tishes, right? There was more on the Pittsburgh. It's just the Maras, right?
Well, Rooneys.
Well, I mean, just the Rooneys. So,
it's just the Rooney family.
It's just the Rooneys, so they control that. There's 2 families on the Giant side, right? And I think that's too many people, too many kids, too many people involved. I just think they're.
But for decades, the Giants had Wellington Mara, his brother, and then a whole bunch of relatives in the.
When it was only the Maras, we were winning. We were winning.
Yeah.
When the Tishes came in, then it just started getting a little bit changed. You got more opinions. It's just too many things going on, and I just think that the NFC East is tough, right? But I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea.
I just had to throw that out there because I was feeling a certain kind of way, man.
I would love to know what happens at their Christmas tables and stuff.
Oh, we got more rings than you have. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, how much Pittsburgh?
Giants have had some rings too.
Pittsburgh's got 5.
They got like 6, right?
Pittsburgh has 6 altogether.
Okay, the Giants got 4, so they got 10 in the family.
Yeah. So, but the Steelers still have more. So they got they get to sit at the head of the table.
That is true. But who has the most recent Super Bowl?
The Giants.
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 Hmm. So, well, we'll see. But
That don't count though.
yeah, it don't count. Yeah, right. It's the amount of rings. No, I agree. I think that's the difference. I think that the Rooney's, you know what I mean? They got a blueprint, and it's one family, not that many people, not a lot of chiefs, right? Not a lot of cooks in the kitchen, right? I think that's what it is. They stay true. Here's what we're doing. Run it. They pick a solid young coach, and they keep him. And then wasn't Tomlin an assistant coach under Cowher?
No. He was actually an assistant coach under Tony Dungy in Tampa
Okay.
Bay and
Well,
Minnesota.
look at that. I mean, you're talking about class, you know, coming from Tony Dungy, class act, and so forth. I think that's where it comes from, to be honest with you. I think Pittsburgh does a really good job of selecting a solid head coach. You know what I mean? And they stick with him, right? They let him build a program, and it produces results right off the bat.
For decades.
And it doesn't hurt that when those coaches come in, they've had a Hall of Fame quarterback, though. I mean,
Right.
that
That helps.
Think about the quarterback. Who won? They got 6 Super Bowls. Who won them?
Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger, and that's it.
That's it. So you had 2 quarterbacks win all your Super Bowls. We've had 3.
Big Ben.
We've had 3 quarterbacks win all our Super Bowls. Right? So
You had Jeff Hostetler win a Super Bowl.
That's right. That's what I said. That's 3. Phil Simms, Hostetler, and Manning.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you had a defense like we had, though.
That defense carried that team.
That defense, you got LT, and you that linebacking crew was. I mean, every one of them was. You had 4 better than Micah Parsons linebackers.
Yes.
Oof. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
LT's the greatest of all time. So
he's the greatest, and he just elevated. And then you had Harry Carson. I mean, they were just stacked, man. I mean, those guys were great. That was a great defense. I mean, there's nothing you could do with that. But anyways, all right. Well, let's keep going here, man. We got a few more before we start wrapping this up. I want to see if I can get to all my pieces here. All righty. So I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to skip to a real quick. You think Jordan Love's going to sign for at least $50 million? Of course,
Yes.
that dollar amounts is getting crazy, man. 50
You got
million.
guards making $20 million a year. Yeah,
Fif-
the money is going crazy. Jordan Love will get at least. Did you see? I think the Packers, because the Packers are a publicly traded company. Well, no, they're a publicly owned company. Actually, I am an owner. I own the Green Bay Packers. They made a profit of like $400 million or something like that last year.
Yeah. Did you get a
So
dividend?
yeah, they got enough to pay Jordan
Did you
Love.
get a dividend?
It's the checks in the mail.
It's an NFL team. They ain't got wired. Jordan Love making $50 million. Let me tell you, Dak's money is just waiting and stacking up. Jordan Love's going to be a great player. Let me tell you. All right. I'm going to skip over Tua for now. All right. I want to ask these questions here. Are these quarterbacks overrated?
Spell these wrong.
Okay.
Fix it.
I'm going to fix it now. Hold on. Because I was trying to get this. Come on, man. This is new. I'm doing a pretty good job.
Trevor's at $55 million, just so you know. Him, Joe Burrow, Golf,
How's that?
53.
Are these quarterbacks overrated? All righty. So I'm going to fix that there. Boom. I'm going to have this scroll. All righty. Ready? Are these quarterbacks overrated? And bang. These are the quarterbacks. 1, Tua. Is Tua overrated quarterback?
Yes.
Why?
What's he done?
He put up big numbers last year, right?
He put up, yeah, okay, last year, but then they didn't do anything in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The only way the Dolphins are winning is if they host playoff games. If they have to go anywhere on the road, forget about it. To me, That's, with all the hype of Tua when he came in. Remember, the big phrase when he was drafted was tank for Tua, tank for Tua. Destroy your entire season just to get Tua. With all that hype, he has not lived up to it. He's been okay, but he has not lived up to that hype.
Byron?
Well, he's been hurt. He's been hurt, a couple of times. He got hurt where, things
Yeah,
happen.
we keep saying that, but when you look at the numbers, he's played like 13 games each season. So, I mean, he's played. I always keep thinking he was hurt more than he wasn't because of just the level of the injuries. But is he overrated or not, and why?
He's the perfect quarterback for that offense because he gets his, for Miami, because the receivers that they have, that he gets the ball out of his hand, quick. And, he's a good decision maker as far as, knowing where, the ball should go. So saying that, no, I don't think he's overrated.
All right. You know what? Looking at the numbers, I think he's overrated. I like him. I like what I saw last year. But push comes to shove, he was great against sub 500 teams. When he played against above 500 teams, he didn't do well. When he had to play away at like Joey said, when they're not playing in hot weather, he had that one great game in Buffalo. But at the end of the day, when he was playing against tough competition, when he played in the playoffs, his numbers really went down. He tanked.
Tank for Tua.
Well, he tanked. Tua tanked.
They tanked with Tua.
Josh Allen. Josh Allen overrated. Byron?
No.
Nope.
Byron.
Why? Nope. He's the guy, man. This dude, man, he can take a team and put it on his back and lead them to where they need to be. He's that talented. But we're really going to see this year what Stephon Diggs, is he still going to be the guy? But right now, man, as far as like arm talent and just he looks like a defensive end because he's big. He's a big guy, a defensive end running the ball. A lot of these guys don't want to tackle this guy, but as far as he's not overrated, not even close. He's the guy.
Yeah, definitely not overrated. You consider what the Bills were before him is basically a joke, and they were low, and now they're a Super Bowl contender every year. I think losing Stephon Diggs actually helps the team and Josh Allen, because I think they were a little bit too reliant on, and I think Diggs demanded the ball too much and made it all about him, that when they stopped doing that and spread the ball around like later in the season and got rid of their offensive coordinator, they got a lot better. So I think Josh Allen needs to stop putting the entire team on his back and make everybody, elevate everybody around him. I think he could do that, but he's definitely not overrated.
I would agree he's not overrated. I like him. He's got incredible rushing numbers too. His rushing average is high, and compared to any of the ones we're talking about, he's definitely a good quarterback. The only thing I didn't like, I think he's not overrated. I think he's the real deal. Only thing I didn't like was last year when he could have threw the ball for the first down and he went for the touchdown. Right. I think that was a mistake on his part. Right. He went for the gold, and you shouldn't have done that. Not against Patrick Mahomes. Right. You just
try to do too much.
Don't beat yourself against Patrick. You know what I mean? Don't just play nice and easy. That guy was wide open for the first down. Could have got the ball out of downs, and then you had a shot to put it in the end zone. Outside of that, I think he's the real deal. I like when he runs the ball. I like when he controls the team. To me, he commands the field. So I think he's a great quarterback. Justin Herbert, Joey, under or overrated?
No, he's not overrated.
Mm-hmm.
He is another one that he is the real deal. He could also run too. Mm-hmm. The problem with him is the team he's on and the coaching staff that he had. The Chargers unfortunately are cursed. I mean, they're just a loser of a franchise. There's a reason Eli Manning did not want to play for that team. So who knows what's going to happen now with Harbaugh and that stuff, but he is definitely not overrated. He is a real good quarterback. He just needs to have a better team.
Byron?
Again, this is my guy, Justin Herbert. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about him because the Giants almost lucked out and got him a few years ago when when he realized that the Giants were probably going to try to move up to get the draft. Yeah, I'm going to stay in school. I'm not coming out. That's what happened. That's true. He was thinking about coming out when he realized the Giants were going to move up, or whatever to try to get him. I'll stay at Oregon. But as far as physically gifted, say he can run, he can throw the ball. He threw for 4,000 yards, every year. Now he has a real coach and Harbaugh, that's not going to have him rely, throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game. They're going to run the ball, they're going to block, and they're going to play good defense, and they're going to win a lot of games. And he's going to be the reason why.
You okay there, Joe?
Oh, good. I slapped my knee laughing at what Byron said and knocked my microphone out.
Byron, you made him. You had him laughing so hard, you knocked his mic out of his arm.
Stop being so funny.
I think Justin Herbert is not overrated. I think he is the real deal as well. I just think he had the worst coach as me and Joey Bag of Donuts.
Wait a minute. Wait. What's that guy's name again?
Brandon, no defense,
Staley.
no offense. Staley. He is a stale coach.
Dumbest coach that ever lived.
That guy from Get Up Joe doesn't know what he's talking about. I can't believe he's on that show. Bring me on Get Up. I'll show him what to do.
I think he's the defensive coordinator with the 49ers. Staley. I think somewhere. I think he's
somewhere. I don't know, man. All I know is that he should have been fired at the time we sent him. I think they took away a couple of years of Justin Herbert's career with him as the head coach, right? I think Harbaugh, what Harbaugh did with Alex Smith doesn't have half the talent Justin Herbert has, right? Yeah. I think he's going to do a lot better there. Number one. Number two,
wait for a second. Yes, he is with the 49ers, man. They are not going to win anything. Brandon Staley is the assistant head coach.
Wait, second.
They're not dumb enough to actually listen to him. When it's fourth down, Brandon Staley's like, go for it. It's like, yeah, whatever, dude.
They ain't going to win nothing.
Well, the beauty about it, he's not running the offense. The sad part about it, he's running the defense, which I'm upset that they got rid of the defensive coordinator last year. Remember, that defensive coordinator did not lose that game. I don't know how he got fired, but anyways,
Steve Wilks.
Justin Herbert, I think, is a great quarterback. I think he lost some time under Brandon Staley. He lost a 1 year of playoff experience by not going for the tie. Right? I mean, you should have went for the win, but when you didn't need to, you should have went for the tie. Give him a year. Byron, you've played. You said it. Once the playoffs come, it's a different world. Your preparation, you're 0-0, and you need that experience as a young quarterback. You need to know what that feels like going into it, the preparation, what you're going to play. Every year of experience in the playoffs, I think, is valuable to a player. Is that a fair statement?
Yep.
Okay, so he robbed him and that entire team of a year of playoff. That the Raiders coach goes, what is this guy doing? Couldn't believe it. And we already had that conversation. So I think here's the part that came up, Joe, that I wanted. I'm going to use it now. We'll go a little bit over on here. So this guy, Joe, commentator on Get Up, they were mentioning about Herbert, and they were all agreeing with what we're saying and so forth. He goes, well, I don't understand something. We're talking about 27 point he had. He goes, but let me ask you a question. How many points did Justin Herbert score? And, Herbert was like, well, and then, no, how many points did he score? They couldn't run the ball. How many points? 0. Well, that's what an elite quarterback is supposed to do. All he needed to do is one drive. And I'm like, is this guy kidding me? Your head coach is a defensive coordinator. He's a defensive-minded coach. How are you putting this on a young kid? How do you give up 27 points? You're a head coach, defensive coach. How do you give that up?
Here's a crazy idea. Who's the one that got them to 27 points in the first place? Justin Herbert.
I mean, let me ask you something, Byron. You're up by 27. If they go Justin Herbert, let's gunsling, continue going. He's throwing interceptions. They're going to blame him, right? You're at 27 points. You should be at least being able to control the ball. Yes, have a drive. You should have a drive. But he's not calling it at that point. He did his job. I got you up by 27 points. Now, coaches, take care of me. Put me in a position to win. How do you do that? playing defense and calling decent offensive plays that eats up the clock. I don't know how that guy is putting that on Justin Herbert because he didn't have a drive. How many points did he score? Your defense let them come back, and your head coach is a defense. That's like Belichick giving up 27 points. That guy, I heard that today. I almost went through the roof. I can't believe they brought him up. Anyhow, that's about it for the show. I think we'll wrap it up with that. Joey and I are still with no Brandon Staley. I can't believe he was in San Francisco.
Assistant head coach.
And and then what's going to happen is that guy is going to be. He's going to be getting. He probably has Kirk Cousins' agent as his agent, and he's going to be a head coach again. He's going to be a head coach again after this year.
Of course, he is.
Assistant head coach. He's getting everybody coffee, and he probably messed that up too.
No, but he's a defensive coordinator / assistant head coach, right?
No,
It just says assistant head coach.
Oh, who's the defensive? Who's listed as the defensive defensive coordinator?
So pretty much, he's in charge of nothing.
Who's
Correct.
the defensive coordinator? Byron?
I don't know.
I don't
You
know.
looking it up?
Trying to.
Nick Sorensen.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like a former
But
player.
that's who it is.
For some reason, it sounds like I used to play linebacker.
The Chiefs?
It just sounds familiar. Nick Sorensen, right?
Nick Sorensen is who's listed.
I see Nick Sorensen. Okay, American coach. He's only 45, man. Must be nice.
Let's see,
No, he was a
Nick
defensive
Sorensen.
back.
Played
He's
at Virginia
defensive-
Tech.
Mm-hmm. He's from Florida.
So yeah, all Brandon Staley is doing is getting everybody coffee.
Look at this. Over the last 2 years, San Francisco's defense has held opposing offenses to the fewest rushing yards per game, 83, with the third fewest low total yards, 303. That wasn't him. That was the previous defensive coach. The team's
Right.
42 interceptions during the span are the most in NFL. How do you get rid of Sorensen? Worked closely with the cornerback. How do you get rid of defense? They're writing this up under him. His third season with the 49ers, spending the previous 2 years with the team as a defensive passing game specialist and defensive assistant. So how do you get rid of the defensive coordinator when it's telling you for the last prior 2 seasons, you pretty much were one of the top defenses in the league?
They
Because
needed a
he's not his
scapegoat.
guy.
Exactly.
He's not his guy. He wants his guy.
They're not buddies. Yeah.
That NFL is like a frat house, and you should know all about that, Victor. A frat house. That they only want people that in that frat. They don't. You're an outsider. If you're not in there, you ain't get. Look at the coaching staff. Maybe we'll go over that one day. Look at all of them. All of them are attached to somebody. Every last one of those jobs.
Yep.
No,
And
I
he
agree
wants
with
his
you.
guy.
All right, Joey, tell us about your show and when we can find out. Tell our fans how we can get in touch with you.
The Donut Bag Mondays at 7 for the real deal on the Steelers. We're boots on the ground, baby. I'm going to be going to training camp pretty soon. We got the real deal on the Steelers info Mondays at 7. The Donut Bag.
Awesome. Joey and the Donut Bag Mondays at 7 p.m. Tune into the show. The link to his show is in the bottom here. Please, if you like our show, smash the like button, hit the notifications, hear our playlist. We're getting ready for the season, boy. Byron, I'm so happy that at least football's going on right now because I was dying these last couple of months, man.
Well,
I was dying. Like trying to pick up stuff to talk about. I mean, man, that was hurting.
Just make up stuff. Make up stuff. That's all we have. Just make up stuff. Talk about it. Just make it up.
I did remember when I got hit with clickbait and I said Joe Burrows wanted out of Cincinnati. Remember?
Yeah. That was a good
It
one.
happens to the best of us.
That had everybody's head.
It was so
What?
bad.
Joe Burrow, what?
I get it. Joe Burrows, Alex Corey goes, that can't be. He goes, dude, I think that's clickbait. I go, oh, man. So that's how bad it was. So at least we got some good stuff to talk about. We have things happening. All right, Joey, we'll appreciate coming on the show. We're going to want to hear from you. If I see that truck again, I'll try to take a picture of the side.
Okay. Be careful. Don't get into a wreck.
No.
Yeah,
I'm getting to
especially
terrible
when everybody's
tower.
doing 80 miles an hour in Florida. Everybody drive fast in Florida.
Yeah, they don't use blinkers. They drive slow in the left lane. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. All right. Well, Joey, thanks for coming on our show. Byron, as always, say hello to the family. Welcome back to on your 8 million trips. I'm actually going tomorrow. I'm excited. I gotta go go pack. Don't forget, tune in our show every Thursday, 8 p.m. The Jersey Boys Sports Talk. What time, Byron? That's right, 8 p.m. Please come in, leave comments, join our show. Get ready for an exciting season. We're going to be changing up the format. We're going to have some more guests. We are super excited to get this season started. We're going to be talking a lot more about the NFL and what's happening here. I did want to leave one thing. Did you guys see the WNBA All-Stars against the Olympic, the WNBA Olympic team?
I liked that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese played together. That was cool.
Yeah, and
Played
she
nice.
You're on the same
she
team.
served her up for an assist.
Yeah.
And did you see Erika? Man, that girl was on fire. The lady that won the MVP, Erika, I can't even pronounce her last. That girl was fire, man. She was wow. She had 0 points in the first half, and ended the game with 34 points.
It's a lot of shooting.
Crazy.
She was fired. Look, she did so well that Caitlin Clark, they went to put her in. Caitlin Clark goes, "Oh, I'm not going in. Leave her. Let her go."
Yeah, really.
I mean,
Go ahead.
You got to give her some respect. And the girl had 10 assists. And Angel Reese had a double-double. So, I mean, those two rookies played well. All right. Again, Jersey Boy Sports House every Thursday, 8 p.m. Join our show. We're getting excited for the NFL coming around. Take care, gentlemen. You guys have a good night, and we will talk soon. Signing out.